I'm joined in studio by News24 journalist Lauren Hess, who's recently returned from an aid mission to the Philippines. Welcome home, Lauren.
Thanks, Terusha.
Lauren, you arrived in a relatively unaffected Manila.
Yeah, completely unaffected, actually. I arrived with the aid group, Gift of the Givers. They'd brought goods with them, relief goods, medical supplies and food supplies. And then they also bought more supplies in Manila. And from there we traveled.
So where did you go to?
We went to an area called Palampon. It's a coastal city. Reminded me a bit of Cape Town, actually. And it was almost completely devastated by the typhoon. Most of the houses were damaged, some of them completely destroyed, government buildings as well. Everything was just damaged.
Do the pictures that we see do justice to what had happened?
I think so, yes. The area that we were in wasn't as badly affected as another area called Tacloban. The casualty figures were just in the thousands. Where we were, I think about 10 people were killed, at last check anyway. But yes, it was terrible. It was devastating.
What was the public infrastructure like? Was it completely destroyed?
The municipal building, for instance, where the mayor and the deputy mayor's offices were, those were very badly damaged. The actual building, the structures were still there, but it was the roofs were destroyed or damaged. It was inside the buildings as well. There was a lot of damage as well. So yeah, there was quite a bit of devastation.
Now, you travelled with South African organisation Gift of the Givers. What was their day-to-day like?
They were very, very busy all the time. I mean, when they got there, there was a lot of logistics to sort out. So it was how they would travel from Manila to the affected area of Palampon, or where they were going. Then it was also a matter of getting the goods from Manila to Palampon. It was also a matter of actually how they were going to get the supplies and where they were going to get the supplies, and getting the supplies from South Africa to the Philippines. The first, I'd say, 4 days was a matter of sorting out logistics and logistics.
What type of goods were distributed?
It was mainly medical supplies and food distribution. The area that we went to, Palampon, it was no other aid groups were there. So Gift of the Givers was the first, and well, for the time that I was there, the only group that was there. So they had to distribute medical supplies to hundreds of people, actually thousands of people. People who hadn't been treated since the typhoon, which was about a week before at that point. So these people were in desperate need of relief.
You'd mentioned in your reports there that you experienced amazing resilience from these people. Tell us a bit more about that.
We got there, and people were, this was a week after the typhoon, and people were already rebuilding their homes. They were, whatever parts of their homes that were lying about in the streets, they were already taking it up and rebuilding their homes. They were using what they could to rebuild their lives. They were living in devastation, but they were still quite positive, and it was very heartening to see. Yeah.
In a South African context, we can't even fathom a disaster of that scale. Do you think that it's affected your reporting, viewing this firsthand?
I think it has. It's affected me personally, certainly, seeing people being that way, seeing people being that positive in the face of all that destruction. It's affected me personally. I'm not sure about my reporting style, but certainly on a personal level, it's affected me.
Now, you spent 10 days in the Philippines. Was there a particular incident that really stuck with you?
There was. When we were in Palampon, there's one hospital that treats. There's one main hospital which treats people from the city as well as all the surrounding villages. That's thousands and thousands of people. Now, this hospital was also damaged by the typhoon, and when I walked into the hospital, the nurses were working in darkness, and there were about 2 nurses, and I spoke to one of them, and she was walking around with a flashlight, and people were lying. Patients were treated on the floor. They were in dilapidated beds, and I was walking through the hall. It's a dark hall that I was walking down, and there was an old man, and he was just lying by himself, and no one had come to claim him. And it hit me a lot, because no one had come to claim this man, and he was probably going to die there. It was heartbreaking, actually.
You can imagine. Lauren, thank you very much for chatting to us today.
Thanks, Terusha.
To read Lauren's reports from the ground in the Philippines and to find out the latest developments on Typhoon Haiyan, visit news24.com and look under the Hot Topics tag.